What's going on, everybody? It is the first post-game show for the WTW podcast. I have to apologize. We are on our current channel. Our current channel is currently being under review for live streaming. We had to apply for that or whatever. But right now we are on Julian's channel. I am Super Span here with Julian, aka Golden Arms 36.
What's up, y'all?
The unhappy final for the Bulls versus Thunder is 124 to 104. Thunder just trounced the Bulls. It was a relatively close game for most of the game, honestly. But then you have Shea doing Shea things, Giddy doing what he does, his no bagness. Jalen Williams killing it. And then you have guys like Isaiah Joe and that Wallace guy who didn't miss a shot. Was
Kaysen Wallace. I had to look up his name.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He went 5 for 5 and 3 for 3 from deep. How insane is that, dude?
It seemed like all of them didn't miss though. Like the whole squad was just on point. They went what? I think they made 18 3-pointers out of 36. Bulls only made I believe 11 or 12.
Yeah, so Thunder went 19 for 39.
Damn, man.
Bulls went an atrocious 12 for 42. That's
a
lot of threes.
Here's the thing though. They were good looks. They were just not falling. Yeah. They weren't falling.
And I'm glad you say that because honestly that's a good sign. The good thing to take away from this game, if there is anything, is we shot 42 threes. I will be willing to bet that is a high total, like the highest total at least in like 2-3 years. I would be willing to bet that is a good amount of 3-pointers for the Bulls. Again, as opposed to the Thunder's 39. Now they obviously hit a lot more than us, but that's something to take away from this big loss. But yeah, I mean, other than that, Zach shot horribly. DeMar didn't have the best game. Kobe White, he finished with 15 points, but again, didn't really shoot the best. The whole team didn't really shoot that well, except for, Vooch had sort of like a stat sheet stuffer type of game.
Yeah, when he had the ball, he didn't get enough touches, in my opinion.
They did miss him a lot in the post. Yeah. I was noticing
somehow
that a lot.
Somehow they can't make an entry pass. Like, what's going on with that?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. That's where we're missing a true point guard like Lonzo Ball so much. I want to give Kobe.
Have these guys not played with a big man before? It's like all you got to do is just dump it off, and you're right there. But it seems like they can't do that.
Right. It was kind of excruciating to watch. I mean, you saw Zach sort of take it to the paint a lot. But as Zach LaVine does, he also took some terrible shots. And he had his fair share of turnovers. Let me see how many exactly. 4 turnovers, same amount as Vooch. But overall, this was sort of a classic good Zach, bad Zach moment. Didn't really shoot well. But again, neither did the Bulls as a team.
All right, so let's break down half by half because I do have first half notes here. And I did write down a lot of things I liked in the first half. Vucevic, when given the ball, good things happen. You saw when he dunked on Chet Holmgren, which, oh my God, what a welcome to the NBA moment that was. Chet just got demolished by Vucevic.
Yeah.
DeMar and Zach, they weren't really shooting the ball well in the first half, but they got to the free throw line. Zach LaVine went 6 for 6 in the first half, while DeMar DeRozan, I did see that he missed 1 free throw, but I believe he made the rest of his attempts when he got to the line. So that was good to see. It was different in the second half, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Also, our new acquisitions, Javon Carter and Torrey Craig, making an immediate impact on both ends of the floor in the first half. Torrey Craig making three threes, Javon Carter right off the dribble making a three, but also on the defensive end, you saw Caruso and Javon Carter picking up their defenders 93 feet, 94 feet on the court, getting steals, getting blocks. Man, that Drummond, Caruso, Torrey Craig lineup when they're in there, and Patrick Williams, when they're all in there, dude, stuff happens on the defensive end. It's just crazy. I love seeing that.
Yeah.
That's such a great potential defensive lineup, and I can't wait for Billy Donovan to keep playing that lineup in the course of the season.
It's crazy. I feel like Drummond had a million rebounds out there, but he only finished with 5. But I am not going to trash Drummond whatsoever. When he's in there, I mean, dude is a rebounding machine, and he makes his presence known. Obviously, getting that nasty ankle breaker on Chet Holmgren.
Man, that was
Dude,
disgusting. That was disgusting.
God, that I saw the obviously I saw it live, but then saw the picture on Bleacher Report of Chet just touching the ground, and I'm like, dude,
That's embarrassing.
like
Two welcome
Drummond
to the
is sort
NBA
of
moments.
right. Drummond is very sneaky with the handles, man. I mean, you know, he'll have his sort of awkward moments. I remember last year when he did that little Euro step and then airballed the layup. That was
Yeah, I
sort of
remember that.
a goofy moment to watch. But I mean, when he's in, he gets stuff done. And Torrey Craig, shout out to him, man. He was a beast. Finished with 11.7 rebounds, got an assist there, but he was making his threes, doing Torrey Craig things. Javon Carter only finished with 3 points, but still, I like what I see from both of those guys. I
What
think those are
Javon
both
Carter on the defensive end is what I like the most. What he did on
right.
defense, I'll take those 3 points if it meant he made an impact on defense, and he did. He did when he was in there
Yeah,
with Caruso, and he did. He was in there. He did his job.
yeah. I like to see Torrey Craig with 21 minutes there. I would like to see a little bit more minutes from Javon Carter, but I mean, this is one game, so we'll see. Maybe Billy's toying with the lineups a little bit.
Right. He does
Um,
have an abundance of guards there. You saw Ayo Dosunmu in garbage time hitting two
yeah.
threes. So, he still has to juggle around who's really going to be set in stone in that rotation, which Ayo would probably crack that rotation, obviously. He does too many things right to not get in the game.
Yeah.
All right. And
Yeah. I
also
mean,
also in the first half, and I want to give praise to the OKC Thunder because obviously, dude, they shot the lights out tonight with all them three-pointers. But Jalen Williams, and he's looking like a future All-Star, bro. Like he's looking really good. Like he might just be a co-star for SGA like right off the bat. I think
oh
this team
yeah.
I think the OKC Thunder might be looking at a top 5 seed in the Western Conference because man, they look dangerous, dude. Like I have it right here. Young team looks dangerous, and shoot, the amount of threes they made, the amount and smart
Yeah.
shots too. They were very like clean shots off the dribble, like whatever. What's their coach's name? Whatever coach they got there, they got over there. They got them running the right stuff. That's for damn
Forget
sure.
I forget their head coach, but I know that guy that used to coach Utah is one of their assistant coaches. He might be their head coach. Quincy or Quincy.
No,
Am I
he's with
thinking of
it.
a
Quinn Snyder's with the Hawks.
all right, yeah. Okay. I was watching like a million games at once, so it was a little fuzzy. But yeah, big shout out to the Thunder. I mean, I've been talking about them all summer. Uh SGA 31, 10, and 5. Uh Jalen Williams, as you mentioned, he's a beast. Josh Giddey had a solid all-around game, which I, I gotta give a quick shout out to Giddey. I gotta just give him his flowers, man. I mean, he is an all-around player. He can pass, he can shoot, he can score a little bit there. Rebounding. I mean, he's 6'8". He could take advantage of your small guards as he did. You saw with Kobe White there. And like I said, he could dish. We mentioned Isaiah Joe and Kaysen Wallace.
Case and
Was
Wallace.
that what it
Yep.
was? Yeah,
Yep.
dude. Like
Yep.
they have a
Yeah.
good young team, and I feel like yeah, there were a lot of people hyping up this squad, But now there's going to be even more. I mean, this team I feel like is legit. Now they didn't go up against the toughest team. I have to rag on the Bulls a little bit because they didn't look like a team that was first seed in the Eastern Conference just 2 years ago in January. We're going to hang our hats on that for as long as we can.
Yeah, there's a minority of Bulls fans that still want to. But that, speaking of which, the big three, DeMar, Vucevic, and Zach LaVine, still showing some more of the same on the offensive end. Like somehow these three just can't have a cohesive like 3-man game, 2-man game with DeMar with Zach and Vooch. Like you saw it a little bit with that pick and roll, but you would think by year
Yeah.
3 they would have had that down by now. And just I don't know, they always look so stagnant, all three of them together. When they're not on the floor together is when that Bulls when we see these highlight plays like from Drummond getting the steal and ankle breaker on Chet or whatever he had on him. Uh, Kobe White pushing the break, getting a Euro step in. Like you see a lot more. You see them running faster when whenever the big three aren't on the floor, and you saw that a lot in this game because the offense did go a lot smoother when it was like either Zach was on the floor with the bench players or what's their names are on the bench or vice versa, But for some reason, all three of them on the court together just don't seem to have like that click with them. It just doesn't seem to click, which is crazy because it's 3 years in with this same three.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it sucks and it's annoying to watch. One of the biggest issues, as we've mentioned a million times, is they can't make those entry passes when Vooch has the smaller defender on him. I
Yeah,
forget who he had on him, but there was a particular
Dort,
play.
Dort. He had
Yeah,
Dort on him.
and Kobe didn't get the ball into him. And it's like, dude, you have to make those plays. As Stacey King always says, it's a simple game.
Right.
I mean, really, all you have to do is get the ball down to your big man, who is a 2-time All-Star, and he'll dominate in the post. Is he a 2-time or a 1-time? Am I wrong?
Who
Time
Vucevic? He's a
yeah,
multiple time All Star with his days with the Magic,
with the
but
Magic, yeah.
oh man,
He's still a beast in the post, and that's the problem. You have to have a point guard who can get the ball into your big man. Vooch is not a bum. He's not. Look, I
no,
love Drummond, but like Drummond is a very one-dimensional guy. Every
he's
now and
only
then,
he's only there to crash boards and get dunks
right?
and block shots.
And Vooch is not that one-dimensional guy, and I hate that in this offense he's seemingly being treated as such. He only finished with 11 points, and that honestly is not his fault.
11 points on 8 shots. Meanwhile, you got
Right.
DeMar taking 20 shots, and
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's not much more we can say about that. I mean, that we haven't said a million times before. This is obviously where you're missing Lonzo Ball so much. I mean, he ran that offense. I don't want to
yeah.
keep talking about him like he's ever going to come back to this team because Lord
Look,
knows we can't have nice things.
look, I'm going to allow it this time because this is our first post game show, but this is the last time you're ever going to bring up Lonzo Ball in any post game show. He doesn't exist anymore, okay, Mikey? He no
He
longer
exists very much.
he is no longer in the back of our heads anymore. He to us he is just who, you know?
It's
Because
like Derrick Rose in his prime.
except we actually got to see an MVP season out of it. It only lasted what 20 games.
Yeah, pretty
So
much.
so
God.
who cares? Let's take a quick second since we are in a live show to acknowledge the comment section. We got Victor Catalinas. I know who that is.
Hoodie.
We got Hoodie Vic in the comments asking about what about Julian Phillips? I'm assuming he said Phillips.
DNP.
The MP, unfortunately, but he didn't get any run in that garbage time.
I don't think so.
I saw Dalen Terry in there. He might
Did he? Oh, then maybe Julian. Oh,
may
Julian Phillips,
he did.
30 or 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
Oh, okay,
Sorry.
he did get 3 minutes of play. He got some run tonight. So hey, good on Hoodie Vic to call out the shout out Julian Phillip because he does have some raw potential.
You
You
know
know,
who didn't
let's.
get any minutes? Bateen. He wasn't even dressed.
Nah, I seen that.
I mean,
Obi
obviously he's not going to crack the lineup.
or
He barely
KB.
played in preseason, but
Yeah, but I mean the abundance of the amount of guards that the
uh,
Bulls have, it's like,
he could have been our savior. You know,
all
Bateen.
right,
Come on.
all right. So let's get down to the second half of this game. The Bulls came out hot. They came out seven. They came out on a 7-0 run to start the second half, and I thought right there, hey, Billy made the adjustment. The Bulls are starting to hit their shots. Zach LaVine hit two threes coming out of the half. It's like, all right, we're gonna get things rolling. And then suddenly the Bulls offense just cools down. And when that started to happen, that's when you saw like the lack of entry passes to Vucevic. And then when Vucevic did get the ball, no one was cutting. No one was diving to the basket. No one was helping him crash offensive boards. Like it, I just don't like how it's either Billy Donovan's telling them to just stand around at the 3 point line, or it's just these guys refusing to like want to engage in whatever offense Billy Donovan has cooked up. Because why are you just standing around when Vucevic is getting double teamed and they're closing out on shooters? You would think DeMar being a slasher, Zach LaVine being a two-time dunk champion, just dive to the basket, or even Patrick Williams. Like, why aren't these guys just getting easy buckets and making it hard for themselves?
Yeah.
That's what I saw in the second half on the Bulls side. On the OKC side, that's when you started seeing SGA just start cooking them, man. He had
He's
a
a monster.
he started. I mean, I don't know how many assists he had, but he was playmaking and he was scoring. But it didn't seem like he was doing much until you saw the stat sheet when he was already
Yeah,
at
10
25
assists.
points.
Yeah.
Like, geez, man, that's crazy. I mean,
Look,
yeah,
I'm a huge fan of this team. Um, just they have a legitimate megastar in SGA. And like you mentioned, Jalen Williams cooking. Case and Wallace, we already mentioned, phenomenal. Isaiah Joe shot the lights out. I mean, this team is not to be trifled with. It's they're definitely one of those teams you cannot leave open, and the Bulls continuously left them open,
yeah.
just giving them shots.
And
And it's like,
once again, the last two seasons, somehow this Bulls team cannot guard the corner three, and a lot of the OKC shots were corner threes.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. You hate to see it because it's just frustrating to watch. You just see their ball movement, you see them get to the open guy, and you're just like, oh, there goes another three. Like, and another three, and another three, and another three. And it's
yeah, that
like,
was
dude, this
ridiculous.
is we were the fifth ranked defense, what, in the second half of last season. I mean, like, look, we got to keep in mind though, this was a problem last year as well.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
were
of
a
course.
lot of times where we left teams open for three. I believe at one point there was like a huge stretch of teams not hitting threes against us, and that helped our defensive rankings a lot. So it's more so like them not hitting thing, less than us defending the shots well. But regardless, I mean, we were a solid defensive team, and that is just not showing tonight. It was just a rough night all around. I mean, the only thing that we can hang our hat on is we did take a lot of threes. That is a great step in the right direction. Um,
Hmm.
just got to start hitting. I mean, it's obvious, but that's the right answer. You got to start hitting your shots. Um, there are going to be nights where you're going to miss a lot of shots, and for the Bulls, tonight was not our night. It
No,
was ugly.
no, of course not. The Bulls didn't play a complete game. They show some defensive intensity throughout like the first half and the third quarter, but up until the fourth, that's when you said all the threes started raining down.
Yeah,
Um, Isaiah Joe and Kaysen Williams, you mentioned them earlier. They were just lights out in the fourth quarter, and that was a quarter that matters the most in games like this. Bulls gave up so many threes, but also on the other end, they weren't matching them on those threes either. the Bulls, yes, they're taking taking a step in the right direction in terms of the amount of threes they're taking, but they got to make them. It's like I'm glad
Yeah,
they were great looks, open looks. Some of them were bad looks, some of them were contested, but hey, they took them. But they just got to hit now. They got to hit these shots. And like I said, I'm still gonna say it again. Good things happen when Vucevic has the ball because the Bulls were rolling in the fourth when Vucevic was in there like crashing the boards, crashing, going on a post up, doing what he does best. And then
yeah,
after that, they just stopped going away from him. And shoot, I mean that's all. I mean, there's not really much you can really say what happened in the fourth quarter. We just got a good old fashioned butt whooping from the OKC Thunder,
yep.
and hopefully the Bulls can bounce back Friday night against the Raptors, which is another young team that the Bulls should not take lightly.
Right. So we talked about all the excruciatingly bad stuff about this game. Now it's time to talk about the play of the game. I'm going to give my play of the game. I feel like we might have the same play of the game because there really wasn't much to choose from. But I'll go first. My play of the game has got to be when Drummond crossed Chet. I mean, dude, like you made him touch earth. That was absolutely embarrassing. Um I mean, if you even can be embarrassed after winning by 20. I'm a huge fan of Chet Holmgren, so big shout out to him. He had a solid first NBA game. Dude is still like 200 pounds at 7'1" or 2" or
Damn,
something
man,
like that.
that's
That's
crazy.
absolutely wild. But I mean, he's a talented prospect. But yeah, he's gonna see that picture across social media for a little while.
hmm Um, Actually, my play of the game is the poster. Nikola Vucevic posterizing Chet Holmgren. Man,
Oh,
Chet
nice,
Holmgren.
dude.
I'm
Chet is just
I'm
getting
sorry, Chet. I'm sorry, Chet. I mean, I think he's gonna win Rookie of the Year, low key. That's just my opinion. But
He
the way
could.
but the
He
way
could.
Wemby's starting out, I mean, could have you never know at this point. But yeah, the poster like that just happened out of nowhere. Like I thought he was just gonna get fouled and go to the free throw line, but no, suddenly Vucevic just rose up, pow, right on his head, dude. That was insane. Welcome to the
Big
NBA
man.
chat.
That's what your
Yes.
big man does.
Yes, that's how he's supposed to play every time. None of these little floaters, none of these little, touch shots on near the rim. No, you rip that and boom,
We need
bang that in
prime
someone's
Shaq
head.
down there every night.
Just don't foul him, please.
But yeah, I mean, from my end, that's about all I have to say. This was sort of a snooze fest in the second half. But I mean, the good news is basketball is back. We have 81 more games to talk about. Um, Julian, do you have anything else that you want to add?
I
We're
mean, it's
about
only,
20
I'm
into it.
I'm happy Bulls basketball is back, baby. But
Yep.
it's only game one. I'm just, it just kind of sucks to get blown out on your home opener. But hey, tomorrow's another day, especially
It
Friday.
happens. And as I mentioned, we just got to hit those shots. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. This is our very first post game live stream. And yeah, just big shout out to you guys. Please like and subscribe. And once again, shout out to Hoodie Vic for being in that comment section. You're the GOAT, man. But yeah, we're gonna see you guys next time.
All right, peace out, everybody. Go Bulls!
Go Bulls.